if you love someone, that's a valid reason to get married with them?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Okay, this is different.
No.
Break it down. Break it down. What do you mean?
Like, you can love someone and not be the perfect, like, you cannot be with that person, like, for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Like, it's more than just love. It's more than just like that makes a relationship last.
So you're talking about the different types of love.
Yes.
Okay.
And not only just different types of love, but it's also more than love in a relationship.
Compatibility. How you work with each other. Okay, that's
like,
what
way more things. So if you're dating just because you like the other person, like, that's not a valid enough reason. That's not strong enough.
But I guess this is in my mind is why I said yes to that. If you have all this compatibility and you click well together and you do this and you do that, but if you don't love them, would you marry them?
Welcome to another episode of StoryTime Podcast, episode 14. It feels good because Chase is playing with my ball spots before, you know.
Ain't no ball spots.
Nah, but it really does feel good. We got the boys back. We got the core five. We asked each other how's Thanksgiving but we missed you guys last week. So, how's y'all Thanksgiving? Y'all want to tell the people what y'all did for Thanksgiving? Kind of talk about that.
My Thanksgiving was really good. You know, I had a lot of Thanksgiving food.
Sweet potatoes with the gravy on top.
Sweet potatoes with the gravy on top. That's right.
And a teardrop.
Overall, it was pretty nice.
Yeah, go hate my jokes.
What about you?
Mine was pretty good. You know, it was smooth. You know, wasn't like a big family gathering. It was just, you know, me and my mom, my sister, my dad, my grandma. You know, we kept it chill. A lot of food. Everybody, you know, pitched in and cooked something. So it was nice.
A lot to go plates.
Yeah, of course. You know, I brought some food back with me. Mm-hmm. Sorry to go on though, but
it's gone.
Man, I brought a couple. I brought a couple.
Yeah.
But look, hey, so y'all know this is what week 14. We've been trying to be consistent every week. We're trying to hammer in on some story time, give you guys good content, some good knowledge to kind of reflect on, and you know, really take something and really bring application to your own life. And so, you know, we're still trying to figure out our space in which what we're trying to do and bring the best content to you guys. So this week we're trying, you know, it's a new setting. We switch up the settings all the time, but this is a new setting. We're in a dorm room. So we're trying to introduce something to you guys that's called Dorm Room Discussions, right? And basically what this series will entitle, I'll allow Chase and Kabir kind of break down like what this series will entitle, because, you know, it was essentially their idea. It was a very good idea, but it's for the audience, it's for the people. We're not going to be so philosophical anymore in this series, but this one will be more like a
down to earth.
Down to earth, lighthearted. We're just going to talk the talk. We're just going to have a good conversation. Keep everything very chill. You know, nothing where we get, you know, trying to, you know, brain teasers and all this other stuff where we're trying to, you know, dive right into some heavy, dark stuff. No, we're just going to keep it.
Because our topics get there.
Yeah. We're just going to water it down just a little bit from where we usually do. Just, you know, keep it a little less from enlightenment and just keep it more real.
All right, so, hey, I got one off the jump. Did y'all see the NBA game yesterday?
Man, I saw them trash Thunder get smoked by 73 points.
73-point deficit. They lost. Break it down. What's going on? How do you lose by 73 points?
Who did they play against?
The Grizzlies?
They played against the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies not even a top team.
I told y'all them Gasson boys was going to get y'all. Does Mark still play for the Grizzlies?
No,
I don't think so, but
no.
Hey, y'all thought Memphis was to be played with, and I told y'all they were eventually gonna get it together.
John Morant's killing it right now.
Yeah.
Bro,
I'm happy for him.
John Morant ain't even play.
Bro, I remember
Did he really not?
He didn't play.
Oh,
I remember when I went
bad.
to a Grizzlies game and they got blew out by like 50.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, why am I even here at the stadium? And I was like, one day, they gonna get it together. Hey, and I'm glad who still plays for the Thunder? That's good.
Nobody.
I was
Nobody's
gonna
space.
say,
Yeah, they got young guys.
Because didn't KD used to play for them?
He did
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Yes.
It was KD, Westbrook, Harden.
I mean,
that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
He been around?
Yeah.
Oh.
Thunder got some young guys. I mean, how about the Lakers? Y'all been seeing? I mean, the Lakers not.
They coming back?
They coming back.
They in there.
Well, they after Kobe, after Kobe actually left the Lakers, like they never.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a LeBron fan.
I mean, they did
Hold
win a
on.
championship.
They did exactly.
But they can call that a fluke because it was like the bubble and like the COVID.
But is that really a fluke though? I mean, you only there to play
you're
basketball.
an athlete. You tell me. How do you feel if somebody...
That's not a fluke. I mean, they coming back. You know, LeBron. You know, he's coming back. You know, he's playing tonight.
Right.
You know, they said he was going to be out for COVID, but he's playing tonight. So it's like...
I thought he was suspended after smacking, what's his name?
Oh,
He
yeah.
did. He served his little
I
1-game suspension.
I told y'all about that, like how he was like smacked somebody and was bloody down the
It was
face.
an accident.
Would you fight LeBron if he hit you?
It's LeBron.
It depends. It depends, because like what that did do is like boost his notoriety on social media. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it was worth the $950,000 that he got fined.
Ain't
That ain't
nothing to
nothing,
an
yeah.
NBA player. Yeah, you make that in one
No,
game.
no. Let's
right?
talk about
Double
that. Let's talk about that because me and my brother had an argument about this, about how I believe the $950,000 to be like, I'm like that is like,
Like pushing it
I'm
too
like that
much?
is not. I'm almost sorry. I'm like that is nothing. Like that ain't nothing for him. Like, and my brother was like, bro, $950,000. Like that is pretty much all his entire check, and all this other stuff he ain't gonna be able to pay for nothing. I'm like, bro, like he can go live like size down like. His house, you know what I'm saying? Like he,
Just-
950. I said you can live off of $100,000.
Just like the social media attention alone can make up for that. Like not even talking about the I'm sure like $2 million he gets every basketball. You know, like at least like every basketball game. But like
My brother, like he only making $2-3 million. I said only.
here, let's see.
Wait, was he on the
let's
side
see.
of
So
LeBron?
that's not even his whole game check.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like I
He
think
still
he
made a
make-
profit
make
in
more
that
than
game. You know what I'm saying?
He's on the side of LeBron? He's on the
No,
LeBron
no,
side?
he's on. We're talking about the fine. So like
Oh.
Isaiah Stewart got fined $950,000.
Oh, he got
And he was saying like, bro, like that is like, it is a lot of money. But he's like, bro,
But everything that he
is-
did, though, he should have been fined
Right,
that
he
much.
gotta look
He
the
did
other way.
too much.
He's not, he's not saying that the fine is wrong, but he's saying like that is a lot of money to fine a rookie or a second year in a contract.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, a lot of, like, I'm like, he's still, and then I also, listen, y'all, I watched the podcast the other day of Draymond Green, and he was talking about this incident, and Draymond Green said, like, y'all think that, you know, rookies have a lot of money, but, like, they really don't, because, like, they really got, they're spending money on their family, like, they don't have we don't have as much money as y'all think we do in the early years, so, like, his stage was, like, it was a lot of money, too.
Oh, okay.
Well, Draymond's a dirty player, too, so
Well,
he
and I'll
gonna
say
defend
this.
him.
Yeah,
He has a 4-year contract of $15 million that was guaranteed at least $6 million at signing, right? So, I mean, I'm sorry, but, you know, I can't have that much pity, right? Like, I mean, you know, like,
exactly, that's what I'm
That's
thinking.
how
I'm like,
basketball used to be, though.
and my thing is, like,
You
even
right.
if you are taking care of your family and stuff, like you don't have to live in a multi-million-dollar
right?
house.
Like you just right, like you're just trying to live above your means. Like if you
Right.
make 15,000, like you know, and like 15 mil, and like you can't handle that, like you still broke, like shit. I mean, like you were gonna be broke no matter
You
how
need
much
to
money you
refinance.
So think about it. Would it be wrong if that fine actually took him out of his like home and he had to like sell his house
That'd
to
be
go
his
to?
fault.
That's personal. Like
That's
that's
his
personal.
fault.
Like
But, like-
number one, he shouldn't have did everything that he was doing. He was doing way too much. Like, okay, you could say it was a cheap shot. Okay, cheap
Right.
shot, whatever.
I think
Let
really
it
what
go.
got it was the second and third efforts that he
Yeah,
made. Like
trying
after
to-
people
he
were trying
just
to drag
kept
him
trying
away.
to-
Like a football player trying to
It's
ram
like-
through people.
Like for me, it's the fact that he's a millionaire. We're actually talking about like him losing everything he has because he had to pay $1 million. Like what about like the people who don't have $15 million and they get fined a $250 ticket?
Yeah.
Like and now they
Yeah.
actually go to
Yeah.
jail because like they can't pay $250. So I'm sorry, like I don't have that much pity on.
No,
On a millionaire choosing to fight back, like to go and fight somebody back on live television, like him paying a fine. Like I'm sorry.
All right, next pity session, because we talked about this before as well about how we view exams. So like, when you get an exam back, do you feel bad that you did bad on that, knowing that you went in not studying? Because I'm ignorant, so like I'll go in not studying and expect to get a higher and be pissed off because I didn't get as high as a grade that I wanted. But like actually, that's like what I deserved. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yesterday
I'm
you-
ignorant. So.
Yesterday you said you got a low score and you were happy because you knew
Well,
17% of the
but
content.
then I
without
also
studying.
that's a different way of looking at it because I'm also
Yeah.
happy because I actually did know this, but at the same time it's like you only gonna give me you really gave me a 17%, like,
you really
so
earned
then
the
I-
17%.
but like it was what I was worth, agreed, but like you really gave me a 17%, like now I'm mad at the professor,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy at myself, but I'm mad at the professor for giving me this actual grade that I deserve.
Now get
Wait,
this.
you happy at yourself for getting
So-
17%?
Because it's like I knew something because I didn't study, so it's
better
like
than zero.
so
I mean,
I
yeah,
knew
it is better than
17% of something that I did not study for. Now back to the consensus. How do y'all feel about like exams and stuff? Like when y'all know Like, 'cause like I said, I'm ignorant. I'll be mad at the fact that I know I should have done better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be mad that I didn't. I'll be mad at you knowing that I didn't study for this exam and I got what I
roll
got.
with the punches. I mean, if you ain't study, well then that's what you gonna get.
So y'all accept like whatever grade is coming. Y'all be like,
You have to. What else you gonna do?
There's no reason. Like, there's no accepting it. It is what it is.
Yeah. What else you gonna do about it?
And that's like for me, like I don't even get mad when I get my exams back because like for me it's like I should have been mad before I took like studying for the exam. So for me, like when I get it back, I'm like, listen, I really don't care what I did.
No, but
like it's over. Like
I say,
I had my chance to do my best, and I clearly didn't put in the effort to do my best. So like, why would I even be mad?
That's like when one time I parked in like a handicap spot.
Yeah,
For like 20 minutes, knowing that there's a possibility I could get a ticket, right? And then I came out and I did get a ticket. And it was $100, and I'm mad at the person who gave me a ticket.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like I can't be mad at it. It's my fault.
All right, that brings me to my other point. It's the same thing you just said. I parked in a hazard zone for maybe not even 2 hours, and I was told by a new campus security guy, my man, right? You know, shout out, you know, Nick Gray, but my man, and he told me. I'm like, and I'm pissed off because I parked in the handicap spot, and he told me. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah. It's a risk.
I think y'all got a
Always.
real mature way of thinking.
It's
Cause
a
I still get frustrated when I know I'm like, you couldn't have told me.
I feel like
a little
I feel
different
like the
than an exam,
frustrations are
Yeah, that's
on myself.
That's different.
See, let me tell you the difference between that and an exam, though, because like that is more like almost like a luck, like you're rolling the dice, right?
Yeah.
Because like you're parking there, you're like maybe they'll catch me, maybe they won't. With an exam, it's like
Maybe it'll be easy, maybe it won't.
I don't think that's no. It's either you know it or you don't.
Maybe
You're right.
You either know it or you
No,
don't.
you don't. When they ask you a question about the brain, can you tell me what part of the brain is in this? Like which lobe is in this section? Or you can't. Like,
But to be fair, I thought the specific exam is psychology, and I thought this exam was gonna be like cakewalk. I was like, what they gonna ask me about stereotypes and stuff? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking that's what what it was gonna ask
He
me.
said
First.
psychology.
Psychology. So, but yeah, keep it with the parking lot ticket. So y'all, how y'all feel about that? Y'all get ticketed for something that you did wrong. Like,
I got ticketed
Just feel
downtown one
unlucky.
time.
y'all
Y'all
very mature.
I guess
I got some ignorance in me.
I guess it depends on who gave the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Like in this case, I would have been mad because like you knew me, right? Like you know me, and you know that was my car. And, like you didn't like try to like avoid that. Like you know
Make
what I
it the
mean?
last car you towed or
You
something.
know what I mean? Like you couldn't have like told him like do a block, and if it's still there when you get back, and then like tried to come call me or shoot me an email. Like it would be different if like he didn't know who I was, and it was like. Like
You're just doing your job.
Like right, like but it's like if you know like the student in this case, like I thought that it would have been more appropriate to like, but didn't they like develop a system? Was that after that?
It was after, but it was because of
now like give you a warning, right?
That's
like,
only if you have the
to-
parking pass, though.
Right,
This-
but they are
yeah.
free, right?
Wait,
so it's like if you don't have the
You have a free parking pass?
right,
Yeah.
So like, there's no charge for parking.
well, it's like parking was always free at Wabash, but like at first like you didn't have to have you don't have to have a parking pass. Like let me say that. And then like second, it's like they created free parking passes for people to basically get warnings before their cars are ever towed.
You know, every time I come up here, I can never find a parking space.
Which is why I be parking in the little hazard, the little joints. Cause
Like,
The fire zone or whatever.
well, I did. I don't do it
fire
anymore.
lane.
I ain't never did it.
Yeah,
anymore.
Legit, y'all parking lots are like this big, and
Yeah.
I'm like trying to
We
drive
know.
around, and
We
I'm
know.
like, what?
We know.
But look,
And I'm paying $125 in Purdue to get a parking pass.
yeah, it's crazy.
And that's not even bad. Like, I've heard of institutions that's way worse.
Really?
Like parking,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not
That
even
was
bad. Like per semester.
No, it's for the year.
Oh, hey, that's even better.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I say
I
this
wish
is-
it was free though. Ain't nothing beating free.
look, y'all. This is the same logic that like when your homeboy or somebody like doing some, they own a store or they own like a clothing business or something, and we just the same ignorant logic that walks in there and think you can get something for free.
Mm-hmm.
Alright,
Just
hold on
'cause,
now.
like, I feel like that ignorant
We
logic
walking a
of
thin line because we know some people like that.
oh
So,
please
okay.
We walking
the
a
ignorant
thin line.
logic.
Okay. So like I know we can't dive too much into this
Because
it's
ignorance
kinda
makes
hard.
sense for some people.
But
Ignorant
like,
logic.
but like, what does that mean?
Like in terms
like
ignorant
ignorant
lo-
logic. Like what does it
ignorant logic means that if Kabir is doing this thing, he has his own shoes that he produces and makes. Just because I'm Kabir's boy and we go way back, I'm not gonna support his business because I think our friendship, like, let me get a pair of shoes. I ain't finna pay you for them. Like, give me for free. You can't give it to me for free, man. You bogus.
You fake friend. You
right.
You know
I
what
can
I'm
make you a sponsor though.
That's ignorant logic.
I can make you a sponsor though.
I agree. You can make me a sponsor, but I want a free pair of shoes. We go way back. You can't give me a free pair of shoes.
Yeah, that's ignorant logic right there. Yeah.
Now, like I said, I'm gonna take ownership because I have some of this ignorant logic. Like when I get told for doing something wrong, that's ignorant logic.
I wouldn't consider it ignorant logic necessarily. I would consider it like an expectation of like grace and mercy because of the relationship that we have, right? So it's like because I know you personally, like maybe that line may be different, right? Of like I expect you to just give me free shit, or like I at least expect you to like go a little bit more above and beyond for me, right? Like,
I'm talking about free shit, like straight up.
Like, that's,
you know,
I'm not about that.
It's like two things that bother me about the getting mad at Nick Gray, right? It's like, and correct me if I'm wrong, like I don't know the exact details of the situation, but I'm pretty sure the way it's structured at Wabash is like there's a third party towing company that just comes onto campus and like tows cars that are parked illegally.
No, we call that towing company. We call that towing.
That's
not always.
That's not always. Not always at all.
I'm pretty sure we call
not
it.
always at all.
We can call them
because for sure.
Sometimes they just come.
No,
that's what he told me.
No, we have a contract, and they sometimes just roam around campus, bro. Like
he said,
like,
I mean, they're allowed to. At least.
Well, he said they can't take one car without him okaying it.
So that makes it even worse on him, right?
My second problem is how did he know it was your car?
He didn't.
Exactly.
That's the ignorant logic on my part.
Oh, so you said that like he came and told you.
He told
After
like
the fact.
I came to him and said like you told my car, bro.
Oh, okay.
Like you told my car, you couldn't send out no warning.
I thought he said.
But how's he gonna reach you?
Right.
It don't matter. He could have said like
So you want
ignorant logic.
It does matter, right?
So you want him to like leave like a note on your window?
I don't care what he did, but he told my like this.
But he didn't know it was yours.
That's the ignorant logic. I don't care if he didn't know it was mine. Like you like y'all can't make this
like
make
you just
sense
got
to
here
me.
this year and you towing cars after 45
y'all
minutes.
y'all can't make this make sense to me. Like I'm ignorant on this. Like this is my. I don't care what you had to do. Like leave a boot on it or something. But don't take my. It was my. If it was anybody else, I don't care if you couldn't tell my license plate. It was my car, Nick Gray. You told my car. I didn't know. It was mine. It was mine.
So
You're supposed to
what
have
makes you and your car so special?
That he can't do
But
his job.
he's just
That
trying to make the
shouldn't
point
do
that he's
his job.
ignorant.
I'm just making a point that that's the ignorance in me.
Okay.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's the ignorant logic. Like I don't care what you ain't finna tow my car, man. Like we go back. You ain't seen me driving around campus yet.
Nah, he ain't seen you. He ain't see that.
Come
He
on,
ain't see that.
dog. Come
He
on.
ain't see that. I don't think you saw that one.
So what other ignorant logic y'all got? So
I don't have ignorant. That's you. You
I
got
don't-
ignorant
but you know
logic.
what?
everybody
you know
got
what?
some.
You know what? I don't think it sounds like ignorant logic. Like, I think it sounds like
You being petty.
right. It almost like a slight like entitlement. Like you can't like because of like you just can't like you can't do that.
but, like, Well, all right. So let's take it. Let's
He
take
walking
it.
around like he the man.
I'm
on campus.
a Wabash student. Like you cannot do that. Like,
No,
what?
because I wouldn't even take it that point. Like, let's take it to the. I don't know if you guys have friends growing up. Let's take it to the same perspective of, oh, we're friends, so I don't want you to be friends with them because, like, it almost like a sense of pettiness. But like this is what,
yeah, that's
like this is
happened
where we, like this is,
Yeah.
where majority. This is where we come from. Like this is how people think. Like
They're
they,
like blackmail almost.
I know my
Almost,
dad
yeah.
for sure. Is like he walks into something and expects the 99, the free 99, regardless of you, whoever you is. He let me get some. Like it's like pay for it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like let's talk about the little joint with the friends. It's like you can't be friends with them because you my friend.
That's happened to me before.
So it's
I'm not gonna say the names.
because that's
but,
so ignorant. Like come on, like you talking about what?
But for
Well,
me, I just hate being in the middle of it. Like, why you gotta put me in the middle of it? I don't care.
But like, why does it matter who my friends are to you?
But
You know
now think,
what
no,
I'm saying?
put yourself, put it in your shoes though. Like, imagine you have like I know you don't have any, but imagine you have like an enemy, like someone you really like hate, or like someone like you're really beefing with, and your homeboy is just like chilling with them. On Snap.
the tow truck.
But like,
the
But you,
security.
like you look on Snap or Instagram or whatever, and you're like your homeboy, someone you're close with, just kicking it with your enemy. You know what I'm saying? Like
right, like y'all chilling.
Okay, so then let me ask you. Wait. Let me ask you. So if your girlfriend was like,
Yep.
you can't talk to her no more. Like you've been friends with her like for a long time.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, you can't talk to her no more. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
I'm gonna talk to whoever I want to talk to. That's ignorant. That is ignorant. Give me a valid reason why I can't talk to her.
Ooh.
Give me a valid reason why I can't talk to her.
And I think like
That is-
we're kind of getting
you
into
gonna be
relationship.
And if she says like because like I feel like she's a threat.
That's
Yeah.
different. Like,
But then put yourself in her shoes.
But like, it's the same. So y'all saying y'all is the type to say like you can't go talk to them. Is that what y'all said? Is this,
If you would want her talking whatever.
I'm just not so quick to call it irrational because I think like if we really like we're given a specific set of circumstances, like we all might, at least to some extent, kind of feel that way. Like we may not say
of
like
course.
you can't go talk to them, but like really like deep down we're like damn.
What, the
like,
insecurity, jealousy, like everyone feels that.
Controlling.
Yeah, I
But, like,
agree.
when I-
but like,
I think that like you in a relationship you shouldn't say like, hey, you can't talk to someone. Like that's just setting yourself up for problems because one, they're gonna talk to someone if they want to talk to someone.
Okay,
so now
okay,
you're encouraging them
okay.
to be sneaky.
okay,
second-
okay. So what if she said? I would prefer. You know what I mean? Like now we're
Exactly.
just like like now
No,
we're
but,
just cherry picking.
Words
like
have power. You know what I'm saying? Like words have power. Is the difference between telling someone you
That's
can't
true.
do something and
That's
saying
true.
like, hey, I don't want you to talk to them because of this. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. So if she said, "I don't want you to talk to them because of this,"
And what's the reason though?
exactly. If it's a
Now,
valid
if the reason is that you're insecure and jealous, I'm gonna say, hey, like you just gotta trust me.
exactly.
yeah, I don't know about that one.
But like, if you
I'm
don't
with
trust
you,
me,
Malik.
I don't know.
I'm with you.
Like if y'all just aren't there yet, if she's not there yet, like to feel not jealous and like not insecure, then like why would you keep doing it? Like
exactly, and that's on you. Like if you know how it makes her feel and you go like doing that, like that shows
what
your
y'all
character.
just shake on again?
That shows your
Because
character.
from my understanding, like that's what y'all just shook on is like
We shook on the fact that you have to make it make sense.
Right. Well, like
Okay,
if
so
you
if
express
it
that,
makes sense,
Look.
would you not talk to that person?
so
If it
instead
makes
of,
sense, like if it's because like
makes sense
I don't,
to you, or
no,
you.
makes sense. No, makes
No.
sense. Look.
Like-
Well, let me explain it. So it's like in her case, if she says, "I don't want you talking to her because it makes me feel this type of way," that's different than her saying, "I don't want you to talk to her."
Well, she's
Like,
gonna give you a
just 'cause
reason.
she's
she's gonna give you a
Yeah,
reason.
she gonna
and
give
that's
you a
also different
reason.
from like you can't talk to her no more.
So what's a valid reason?
Y'all talking about like y'all saying like she gonna give you a reason like this like this always happens. Y'all
I got
y'all
you.
telling me y'all got these fluke reasons of why somebody can't like for shit like it come all the time. It's petty. Like I don't want you talking to them because our old relations like because I used to get into it with them. So like now I don't want you talking to them because
Okay,
that's
okay.
not a valid reason.
Okay,
That's it.
What is a
You ain't
valid
gonna tell me.
reason?
You
I
ain't
thought we
gonna
were
tell
talking
me.
about like a relationship.
But French, they all the same.
Let me
Relationship,
ask
like,
you: would you be okay with your girlfriend
Come on,
being
'cause we
friends
breaking
with
this-
her ex? Would you would be okay
That's
with that?
different.
That's
That's a whole
different.
different like.
That's
scenario.
different.
Would you be okay with your girlfriend being friends with somebody that you used to fight, like somebody that you just don't like, like?
That's different.
Like it.
But that's girlfriend. That's girlfriend.
Okay,
And
okay,
still-
but like your friend, but like then like your reason for telling them not to hang out with them is because you don't like.
But
them.
listen, Malik. Instead of
Break it down.
saying like you can't talk to them,
No. I'm saying like you can change that part of the rhetoric however you want. Like
Yeah.
please don't. I would prefer not to. Like it would make me feel
no.
better.
But
if
listen,
you
like
didn't.
their
I don't
motive,
care about that
like
part.
they should choose. They should make the choice not to talk to someone out of respect for you.
Yes.
If they know that it means that much to you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's kind
if,
of like shifting the blame.
what do you mean?
So this is like saying like
I think we all got some ignorant logic. I
think it's also like a power struggle of like sovereignty. Like you can't tell me what to do. If I do it, it's because I'm a good person.
And
not,
you never
not
should
because
tell
you told me
your
to do
other.
it.
In my view, you should never tell your significant other what to do.
What you can and can't do.
Well,
I agree.
Well, I agree. But I'm
To an
saying
extent,
like
though.
we
Yeah,
like
to an
like
extent.
we all we all have
We
boundaries.
have boundaries.
Like, we all have boundaries.
You
That's
can't get
what's
past
called.
that because like they don't. You guys not agree that you can't tell your significant other what you can and can't do.
I feel like that's just structurally like could cause problems. Because you can't,
not
you're
with
not, you
that.
shouldn't control. There should be freedom in a relationship.
Always.
You shouldn't be like under someone
You
else's
should
control.
be able to be who you are
Yeah.
and know your partner
Yeah.
is going to accept who you are.
Right.
You
Yeah.
shouldn't have to water yourself down to anybody's level.
Yeah, you right.
Otherwise,
You right.
that relationship is not
Even if
bound
that
to.
means being friends.
But no, I want to go back.
But,
because we got.
but then you also have boundaries. That's
Right.
you
We
set
have
up
to
boundaries.
accept the
and
fact-
if you don't set those exact boundaries, then your relationship's
Like,
definitely.
there's definitely
regardless if you're a
sacrifices.
relationship or friendship, it's just gonna fail.
You gotta decide if that sacrifice is like gonna compromise who you are.
But what I want to get at is these two don't agree that we can't tell someone what you can and can't do.
To an extent,
Yeah,
though.
But like, what's a scenario when it's okay to tell someone what you can and can't do?
Miami trips.
So you gonna say like you can't
You
go to
can
Miami?
go to Miami, but you have boundaries.
Right. And you can't do
See?
but
Yes.
You cannot
Yes.
have
Yes.
sex with another, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
you cannot go sleep with somebody else.
come-
Like, you cannot do that.
So what do you
Like,
do? Have like is
I am
is
going to break
I'm
up
gonna
with
let
you.
you.
if
I'm gonna let you have your
Right.
freedom to go hang
That's
out
not gonna stop them.
and have your
Yeah.
have your fun
Yeah,
in
so it's not gonna
Miami,
stop us.
but you have boundaries.
There's
around
boundaries. It's all about boundaries.
it. And I get
And
it.
I'm not saying there isn't any boundaries.
Like, I'm not
But
saying.
I'm saying at the same time, you can say whatever you want to
That's
say.
right.
But at the end of the day, if you don't want them to cheat on you, you need to frame it properly.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be their choice. Like
It's a
they're gonna be
difference.
faced with a choice, right? Hypothetically, where they have the door open to cheat on you, and if their reason for I shouldn't cheat because he told me I'm not allowed to, he's gonna break up with me. That's not as strong as like I shouldn't cheat on him because like I respect him and I love him. You know what I'm saying? And so
What if you what if you don't view having sex with other people as cheating that way?
Well then that's a different.
but so
Well,
what
because I think that and let's not get too deep here, but like some people don't view like having sex with other people as like disrespectful or like to the. You see what I'm saying? Like,
but
they
like
don't,
if you ask them not to, you know what I'm saying? Because either
Yeah.
way, we're asking them not to. But
It's
we're talking
asking,
about the
but they're
difference
talking about
between
telling, asking
Exactly.
and telling. Yeah.
exactly, and like you know that makes a difference because
So-
like if you tell them, hey, like you're not allowed to like do this, right? They might just say like if that's the reason, then they're just gonna say, oh, I just won't tell them.
Y'all ain't never heard it saying like, are
But
you
if you
asking me
say,
or
like-
telling me?
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
But
are
if
you asking
frame
me or
it-
telling me?
that's
Right.
different.
It's the same thing.
If you bring it up and you're like, hey, I know you're going on this like Miami trip. I just want you to remember like, and these are things you should have already established in the beginning of the
Oh, of
relationship,
course,
the boundaries.
of course.
And so, you know, they're going on the Miami trip, and you're like, hey, you know, I just want to, I know that, you know, you're going to be with your friends and at the club and stuff, and, like, I just want you to, remind you that, like, I'm going to, like, I would not be happy if you were doing
Oh,
these
so
things.
you're trying to sugarcoat it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm getting at, what I'm getting at is that you should ask or refer, I would like you not to do, but you can't tell nobody nothing. Like, how you gonna tell somebody what they can and can't do? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
so like,
But like I think we're arguing in like two different frames, like I'm
Yeah.
thinking too. Like you're talking like a very like literal, like I can tell you all day, but like I can't physically control you. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
well,
like
I think
and
I think you don't have the right to tell nobody nothing.
Imagine a relationship.
Like
or
in a relationship,
friendship.
you don't have the right to tell your partner what they can and cannot do.
But imagine it's like a contract, and like you approaching this person with a contract to get involved with them.
Yeah.
Then in that contract lays out all the things you can and cannot do if you want to be in this contract with me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you would not break that contract because of all these boundaries, because this is what you want. You wanted to sign this contract, right? So you want to understand it, and if you break any of those if you break any of those rules within that contract, you're breaking the contract, and you're pretty much breaking the friendship.
Those are
relationship.
considered boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those are things that I would like you not can't. I would like you not to. I would like for you not to go cheat on me. I would like for you not to go to Miami by yourself. I can't tell you. Like I don't have the right to tell you what you can do with your life.
I think maybe the difference is that my thinking is like that's framed as like I will not tolerate you going to Miami and cheating on me. I will not
Yeah.
tolerate this and that.
Thank
like
you.
so like that's like for like I see what we're saying, but like I think we kind of boil down to like the same argument, but like it's just
Yeah.
like the way we present it or the way we kind of frame it or talk about
Yeah.
it. Like for me, it's like very blunt. Like I will not tolerate like
Right. And I think what we're getting to is like there has to be like there's terms to every relationship,
Yeah.
right? There's boundaries, there's conditions, right? And you have to like really think about whether like you're willing to like if accepting those terms and conditions is gonna like change who you are in a way that you're not comfortable with. Or like, you know what I'm saying, if it compromises your being, who
Yeah.
you are.
So what are some of the boundaries you guys have?
What?
We're all in relationships here.
I'll start.
What's the boundaries?
So like,
Dangerous.
It is dangerous.
You
right.
got the insurance back?
Hey.
I feel like mine are pretty like standard. Like no kissing other people, no sex with other people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Pretty specific. No kissing other people.
yeah. I mean, I don't want my girl going out like kissing other
No,
people.
my ambiguous ass. No intimate relationship.
No groping
no
with
nothing. Right? Like no nothing.
See, and that's why I don't. That's
So is
why,
groping allowed, but no kissing?
see, that's
I'm
why.
just-
Like, this is stuff I feel like doesn't need to be.
If I'm your partner, I'm finding a
No
loophole. No, I'm just
PDA
playing.
action. in
See,
public.
and that's like, I don't know how I feel about that. You
See,
know what
that's
I'm
why
saying?
it's like it's no such thing.
Like if you're the type of person to look for loopholes, I already don't want to be involved with you.
Is that true?
Right. It's literally.
Loopholing is probably like the biggest
It's a character.
thing.
And that's why I would never like write out a contract for you to be able to find a loophole.
My point.
So how do you make your request?
What do you mean request?
Because for you, there's sugar-coated requests. So how do you make your sugar-coated request that somebody does not do something? If you don't, at least...
Like we've had conversations and like we've established these things like I don't want to be cheated on. Like if I'm cheated on, it's the end,
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
right?
You
And then
don't
this is
believe in
my
second
and
chances?
then this is my
I like this. Second chances, right? Like,
and that really comes down to circumstantial.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of you got a 50-50 shot, I give you a second chance.
right.
I don't even know if it's 50-50.
Right.
Right. Less
So
than
does it depend
Can we-
on like
okay.
how long you've been
I
together?
would like to argue.
that I think
What are the
that-
factors?
I would like to make
I mean,
this
that might be
argument.
a-
I would like to make this
okay,
argument
okay.
that if you if you go into a relationship thinking like if someone cheats that I'm going to break up with them, that's ignorant logic.
How?
Because how can you go? You don't even know the situation. You say you're gonna be done with it before it even like.
I mean, you can set that boundary if you want.
At the end of the
at
day,
the same time,
at
like-
the end of the day, to cheat, did they not make a conscious decision?
But like you don't understand. Well, now we're about to break it down.
Hey.
Like, all I want to say is that is an ignorant logic.
How? But you have to justify that. If you
All right, so
how's that
now
ignorant?
I'm gonna throw it to Chase to talk about why he believes in second chances, like he said.
No, I'm not saying I believe in second chances. I'm just asking. Like, do you?
And that, like I said, is
I like-
highly circumstantial.
It is
Okay, so let me
circumstantial.
break it down then.
Okay.
I believe that there is always a reason for why someone does something. First off, at our age, our maturity levels aren't even to the development to the point to make rational decisions at all times in our life. So that's a valid reason in itself. If somebody cheats on you, first off, you could be mentally not even conscious of or rational of like stable enough to be at the place where you're not even ready to not cheat.
So
you know,
then you're not ready to be in a relationship.
Right.
So I'm asking. So if
If you're not
and
mature
so
enough,
it's why you're
if
in
your
a
significant other cheated and she said, "Oh yeah, I'm just like I'm not
My mind's
I'm not
just
mature
screwed up.
enough."
I'm
You'll
not
be
mature.
okay with that? No.
Right, that's not a valid
See, like, you be okay with that?
That's
That's not okay.
This is where we differ because like you don't have to be okay with something to move forward with it. You don't have to be okay with it to move forward. You
get
can be,
over it.
To get over it. You can be okay with the fact that you're developing after someone cheats, right?
Yeah.
Or after my partner cheats, it's like I cheated because like I really was in a space where like I like didn't know like I'm learning, right? Now if it's like you no longer make this mistake in the future, we can grow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's what the
but it
contingency,
depends.
right?
It depends.
Do you
but it
give that
depends.
avenue to?
But I guess it depends on the reason. First off and foremost, the reason that you're dating. So if you're dating for convenience, then of course you don't have to put up with
Man,
it.
I'm sure you
But if
already
you're-
have certain boundaries established that reflect the state of your relationship.
The boundaries, yeah, the boundaries could be one of those things. But at the same time, those boundaries change within yourself all the time. Like you may want something different than what you originally started because your mind developed differently.
And I feel like if they're changing like that often, then
Oh, yeah.
you're not ready for a relationship because you don't know what you want.
Oh, then that means we're all not ready for a relationship because we're not at
That's
the-
I don't agree with that.
That's the part.
I mean, the human
that
mind
I'm-
isn't done growing. So
I'm
exactly.
willing to
That's
debate.
what I'm getting at. Like
So-
I'm willing to debate that part.
What
But
part?
it doesn't mean you don't have all that time to learn.
Look,
up until that age.
we finna break it down because it's like, first off, you need to establish a reason for the reason in which why you're dating. So if you're dating for convenience, then maybe like putting up with someone who's cheating is not like
Who dates for convenience?
That's what I was about to say. I don't think
A lot of people date for convenience.
But like, I don't think that they think this is convenient.
But that's why they date. It's not.
I get I get, but like this is like an underlying implied kind of
It's
like derivative. But like nobody says like,
I'm just bored.
Well, nobody says.
I'm
right
right
I'm gonna date her because she's like right there. Like,
Nobody says the reason of which why they're dating in the first place anyway.
but
It's
I'm
because you like the other person.
right.
But
you
like,
find
that's not a
some-
valid
you like
enough-
something.
Wow,
about it.
what is your valid reason to date somebody?
But that's not a valid.
If two people like
look,
each other.
That's not a valid
That's
enough
even
reason.
better.
That's not a valid reason.
No, but that's even
No.
better conversation.
Wait.
So what's the valid enough reason?
Yeah,
So
what
watch
are
this.
you?
Watch
What's a
this.
valid reason?
Watch this. So do you love? I mean, if you love someone, that's a valid reason to get married with them.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Okay. This is different.
No.
Break it down. Break it down. Break
No.
it down. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like you can love someone and not be the perfect. Like you cannot be
ah.
with that person like for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Like it's more than just love. It's more than just like that makes a relationship
So
last.
you're talking about the different types of love.
Yes.
Okay.
And not only just different types of love, but it's also more than love in a relationship.
Compatibility. How you work
Compatibility.
with each other. Okay. I see what you're
Like
saying.
way
I see
more
what you're
things.
saying.
So if you're dating just because you like the other person, like that's not a valid enough reason. That's not
even-
strong enough.
But I guess this is in my mind is why I said yes to that. If you have all this compatibility and you clicked well together and you do this and you do that, but if you
Yes.
don't love them, would you marry them?
No,
Exactly.
you need. I know, but
I feel
Yeah,
like
there's more
like
things.
love is almost a. And I can't even
No.
say that because people get married without being in love all the time.
Right.
hey,
So-
that's it. But like this is my thing. For those who get in a relationship because they like one another, that's convenience.
So you didn't start dating your girlfriend because you liked her?
It was more than just like.
What was it?
We see a future together. We're close
From the
compatible
start?
already.
From the start?
From the start.
Damn.
From the start.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't
From the
say.
start.
Wow.
Okay, maybe not the first
from the
second,
start.
the first day.
From the first day that we dated.
So
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna so you're gonna marry her?
Dated from the first day.
I
that-
do.
like the first
see it.
day
That's
that you dated.
that-
From the first day that
From
you
the
dated.
first day that we
Was the
dated.
first day y'all started talking.
No, that's different. Well,
Okay.
first, I'm talking about the
Well,
first day that
I'm
we
different.
dated
Yeah.
because now our intentions are like we have a reason for dating.
Mm-hmm.
We have a reason. So like
But isn't that reason working to build something
working
together?
to build our future because that's what we essentially saw together
I
from the
think,
from the beginning.
I don't think that's rare. You know what I mean? Like I think for the most part
That
like,
is rare. That is,
like
that is very rare.
you think so?
Mm-hmm.
Then like why else do people get married? Like if,
Taxes.
like if you're not actually trying to like be
Taxes.
So they're gonna keep saying taxes.
in a right because like that's how they act to a point. But, like in a non-economic sense, like why else would you get married to somebody if you don't plan on like building the rest of your life with
But
them?
also, ask this question: Why
Maybe
would you
because of a
date?
kid.
Why would you date someone
People
that
get
you
married
don't see
over
a future
kids.
with?
Because you don't. You
don't
know,
know.
And you know, I used to be that way. Like, why in the world would you ever date somebody if you're not like if they're not the person that like you're gonna be working towards marriage?
Growth.
But humans change.
Sometimes it could be a learning experience.
You see a possible future.
It could just be a learning
It could be a
experience.
learning experience. So
Like-
then that's what you tailor that when someone cheats. Is does this still function within our learning experience?
Because, like, I can guarantee you, like, there's a lot of people out there that have no role models in their life to show them what
A
real
good
love
relation-
is,
right,
what
right.
a couple is,
100%.
how to even date. So when they're just out there in the free world dating or, you know, just experiencing new things, they'll get into a relationship and then they'll taint off the rip.
Yeah.
And then they'll just learn, they'll just reflect and look at that whole relationship and do the things that they don't, or that they did. They'll not do the things that they did in that relationship to make it better for the next one.
And my
You know?
thing is,
so that's a learning experience.
be real with yourself. If you going
Yeah.
into the relationship for the experience, because you have no experience, you must go into that relationship saying that this is for experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it changes to something else, that's a conversation that you two have to have.
People, we can't.
But like we
How-
don't have that. First off, we don't
But
have
I
that
feel like
conversation.
that's
How
not
many
even
people
like-
are gonna go into relationships and just tell their other like their significant
I just
other,
want experience.
oh, I just want the
I don't
experience.
What?
even
Are
think.
you lying to them now?
No. But I'm saying, like, even as an individual,
Yes.
like as an individual, like when I first started dating, I wasn't there yet. Like
Yeah.
if I was to that maturity level, like you see what I'm saying,
Right.
like so
Right.
I think it's like an unrealistic expectation of newbie daters.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that you should not date
Okay, but how long?
until you know, like, the purpose for dating. Otherwise, it's
But
gonna-
like, how do you ever know the purpose of dating? Because that doesn't
It's-
Chris
it's-
like
what do you want out of
my,
dating?
my argument is that like you have to leave room for things to change because things are
And
going to
it's
change.
always room for things to change, and that change is with a conversation with yourself, and then it reflects with the conversation with your partner.
What if you already have a connection though?
That's right.
So what do you mean if you have a
So
connection?
if you have a connection with this person already established, a bond with them, like say y'all already had sex,
Yeah.
you already have that connection with each other,
Yes.
but your viewpoints are not the same. They don't align.
So
you just automatically say,
and
well,
you
this
guys
is
are
not going
dating,
to work.
and they're dating.
Well,
Your
Like
date.
how
You guys are
extreme
in the-
are we talking? Because like if your viewpoints aren't always going to perfectly align.
Yeah, but that's depending on the person, right?
Yeah, I mean, if they're communicating properly, then they'll understand. Like, okay, this is what I really want to expect, and this is what I really want to do. Like, yeah, we already got the fun out the way. Do you want to continue this with me? And whether or not they're ready for that, they need to communicate that back. And if it doesn't like correlate or line up, should they just like stop?
But see, like, but even like before we get there,
Humans have
I'm willing
needs.
to argue that like we don't even know. Like, how do you even know if you're ready to date? You see what I'm saying? Like, how could you ever accurately know that without doing it and failing? You know what I mean? Like how could
Trial
you
and error.
like how could you with such certainty be like, I am now ready, right? Because like you don't even
That's
know
the best
like.
way to learn though. is
But
just
I'm
how-
saying like, but you have to acknowledge that like going in there like that is not being prepared to date.
If you aren't ready to date, you should acknowledge that
But
I'm
how do you
But
know?
what he's saying
if
is
you're
how
ready to date?
do you know like when you're ready?
Right.
So this is a firm example. If you don't know if you're ready or not,
you
before you go
automatically
into
don't know.
like
You're automatically not ready if you don't know.
because like if you don't know if you're ready or not, you go into a relationship saying that I don't know like what this is and I'm going for experience.
But doesn't the
So you're gonna go up to whoever and be
Yes.
like, "Hey, I like you. I don't know what we're doing,
Yep.
but I'm just here for the experience."
Yes.
I've seen this. I've seen that.
I'm not.
I'm not
I
sure.
haven't.
I'm not sure what we are, but let's just go with the flow. Right.
I think that's a good point. Like you don't have to define it.
Right. I'm not sure like what we are or like what we'll even become or like what really I even want. But like let's just go with the flow and see where it goes. I've
Yeah.
seen that. I've seen that.
So I think
'Cause
Chris
you're
is saying like you don't need to like put a label on it and define it unless you have a reason.
Unless you have
I'm-
a reason, and what I'm saying is you can do it, but those are the ones that last. It's like not even last. Those are the ones that like when you date with the purpose. That's like when you have purpose in your life. Like
What if- you know
that's
what?
so
what
when
are
you
your-
date with the purpose. That's when you
I actually agree with you because that's how I got into my relationship.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys.
Okay, so you said if you go into a relationship just on experience, what are your expectations from the other person?
You don't know.
You don't know. Yeah, you gotta be.
But this is
But
my
humans
problem.
have needs though.
That's right.
Of course. So then, of course, you have some things, but of course, at the end of the day, you really
What are
don't know
what are those things though?
But you
don't
don't
know.
know.
You don't know.
They aren't defined in your head.
exactly. So it's
Right.
like
So should you let the other person like
you
you
learn.
know
You have to learn.
You gotta learn.
you
I
just
think-
feed off of them and
I-
what their needs if you don't know your own needs?
It should be like a like what do you mean like your own needs like
Like,
if you're
Your
like
desires.
People feel lonely all the time. You want them to always pick up the phone and be able to talk to you.
well I think this is how you end up kind of going with the flow is that I am lonely and every time I call you answer so it's like okay like I kind of like what we got right so let's keep doing that, let's keep seeing where that goes. But I think that that initial connection, I think it has to happen by both partners fulfilling some need, some desire, some want of the other, right? Or otherwise I don't even think you'd even start with the like let's just go with the flow because like
Or there has
hey,
to be some type of compatibility
right
or
somewhere right.
attraction in order just to get it started.
Yeah.
That talking.
I'm more worried about people thinking they're ready because there's no metric,
It's not.
and then you getting into a relationship and turns out like you didn't know what to expect. It turns out like now you're in it and like you're just not ready.
And
So
and
we're
that's
trying to develop a metric.
and I was gonna say and that's but look and that's okay, right? So let's say you go into a relationship with the purpose of saying that I want this for the long run.
Yeah.
And within the relationship, you begin to determine that like this is no longer what I want for the like once your purpose is shifted or broken, you either have that conversation or it's a breakup. But if you have no purpose, now you're just stuck with each other because like what are we breaking up for? Ignorant logic. Ignorant logic. Now we're breaking up because
That's crazy. That's
How is
circled
that-
around in
How is that ignorant logic?
because now you're breaking up because it's like why'd you start dating in the first place? We don't know. Why are you breaking up?
But I think you're expecting too much of a human to say like
No.
I am certainly ready. Like what
But
is
you
you
don't
what
have
if
to be
humans
certain.
ever? But I
You don't
but like even that uncertainty leaves this scenario to happen much more often than like you're leaving room for.
And it does happen often. This is why there's a high case of dates that don't lead to marriage, and this is why it's a high case of marriages that don't work out for the long run. That
high
ends up with
But
divorce.
how would that person before they got into the marriage foresaw that?
Well, you don't foresee what happens.
So-
So like you foresee like this is what I want out of this.
But they weren't ready. So and in reality they didn't really know what they wanted out of a relationship because they've never been in a 3-year relationship. So they don't know what you see what I'm saying? Like there's too much that we don't know, but we're acting like as if we already know.
No. See, I think we're confusing. Like it's not like just because I want this that it's gonna happen. So it's more like this is what I want out of this. Like you have to know what you want out of this. Therefore, like,
but do those wants not change?
If they do, then that's when you have a conversation with your partner.
So,
like now I want, like I came in this for experience. Now I want this for the long run. Do you feel the same way?
So is that the conversation you had?
That's like, yes, always.
So
ever change. If it changes, if we want something different, if it changes from like this being from the long run to now I just want to be in this relationship for experience.
Is that the conversation y'all had?
But this is the conversation that
yeah.
Well, no. Like this is just my this is my what is it, philosophy on it, right? But like
you gotta be careful,
right?
You gotta be real careful.
We got some audience members in here, some members.
For me, it's the expectations were set at the beginning of the relationship. Now you're in it, and those change,
and you have to leave the room for.
You weren't ready. You weren't ready.
No.
If your according to your standard,
no.
If you get in this relationship,
Okay,
and then you be like, wait, I don't know now. Like, wait a minute, like I don't know, like you get like you get like this quarter life crisis in the middle of this relationship. You're like, I don't know.
No,
because I thought I wanted this, but in reality, it's not really playing out that way. But this isn't making me as happy.
But just because you go into a relationship with one objective does not mean
no expectation.
It's a purpose. It's not an expectation.
It's how we're going. How we go in to live and grow with each other. No,
is it not a purpose?
Oh,
is it not?
I'm not talking about the vision.
Then what is an expectation?
I'm talking about what is expected from each partner in the relationship.
Someone's not meeting their expectations.
It's not expected. Look. I go in and say, my purpose for dating you is because I see this in the long run. Your purposes should align.
So what Mariah's going to expect of you is to want that in the long run. But if that changes,
yes,
then the expectations that you set at the beginning of a relationship, you're saying throw those away.
And that's when it's time for another conversation.
So you're almost reset. So you're almost like breaking up and reforming a different relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
I wouldn't even say that. That's
not breaking up.
But definitely pivoting.
Restructuring.
You're pivoting.
Right?
Yeah,
okay. But
what gives you the right to do that?
No, and here, hold on. I got a perfect point.
What do you mean?
Why can't she do that? What gives you the right?
She could come.
And you have to be like, are you expecting her to be okay with that?
I think the person who's trying to make the pivot.
That's when we have that conversation.
And I guess like if it's not okay, they
break up.
Go their separate ways.
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
I was just gonna say the person who's making the pivot can't like be mad at the other person for not wanting to go with the pivot.
Right.
Okay.
And
like this is what I thought this was, and now you want to go this way, but I'm sorry, I don't want to.
But like
exactly, and
so like we're just read an impasse and misunderstanding.
So would you consider that person ready to be in a relationship if they get to that point?
They might have been ready, right? And then like through the experience,
but that was my claim, and now you're arguing the exact same words I just said 2 minutes ago.
But I'm never arguing readiness. I'm arguing intentions and purpose.
But those intentions change. Those purposes will change.
But like,
so how can you ever say like you have?
But like, just because you have a purpose does not mean that you're ready. It means you have a purpose out of this. You have an objective out of it. Like you have a long-term goal. Like you're going in there with the intention. And my thing is, when you go in there with an intention, your intentions must align within a partner to formulate a relationship. Otherwise, you two somebody could want this for experience, and someone else can want this for long term. And now those you don't even talk about.
Like, what if you genuinely don't know? Like, why you?
Then you say, I don't know what I want in this relationship. Let's go.
But what if you don't know that what you don't know? You see what I'm saying? like there's just so much that like you just don't know because you literally don't know, right? Like you will never gain that wisdom or that understanding of the complexity of a relationship
until you put in a position.
There's no way. It's completely unfathomable. I remember before I got in a relationship, like the thought that I had about cheating, and now that I'm in a relationship, I'm like, I see how somebody can much more easily justify. I see how somebody could truly love their partner and then go cheat on them.
So you believe in second chances?
I don't. But I am saying that like before I actually experience the complexity of a relationship, that's a part of my brain that like it
So
literally
what would you say would be a reason to justify somebody cheating? I'm
not saying that I'm talking about like within the cheater.
Mm-hmm.
In their head, I now understand how they may sincerely love their partner, but their eyes may be catching attention in other places. And I understand that, like, for me, it's that I now see much more clearly how somebody could make that mistake. Now, second chances, I'm still not necessarily willing to give too many. I think it depends on, grander picture kinds of things, but I'm still not necessarily, like, it's really like a 70-30, really, that you may get a second chance.
Yeesh. You're giving them a lot.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate.
But that's what I'm saying, like 70-30.
There's a 30% chance I'll give you a second
Right, sincerely.
Like, yeah.
It depends on. Once again, this is how it came up about second chances. You can't establish it's ignorance if you just say like I'm breaking up with you because of second chance, because like it's like what is the second chance aligned to?
So
right?
what would be your 30%?
What would be the reasoning?
30% is like me being nice and saying all the circumstances and context that I can't consider right now.
Right.
Because like in my mind, I can't think.
Right, because like
so,
when you think of cheating, you have like a very clear picture of what it is, and then something else happens, and you're like, like that's not the cheating that I was like envisioning.
Yeah.
So like.
So what do we define as cheating?
Same or well, then that's up to
I think our definition is pretty clear. Like at least for me, it's you made a conscious decision
to get with somebody else in the
to get
hookup
with somebody else in whatever form.
Shape, way, or form, big, little, small, ugly, dark skin, white, however you want to color, red, yellow, purple. Whoever you got with, the itty bitty pitty, You playing with the toes.
And like I really can't think of any scenarios that would result in me giving somebody a second chance.
Have y'all ever been cheated on?
I have.
I've not.
I have.
You want to talk about it?
I
remember one of them.
Yeah.
I remember one of them.
Did it go just the way you thought? This with like the 70-30, and I'm assuming they didn't win the 70.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Gotta have some.
That 30% is giving them a lot, though.
Right.
So
you should really talk about that. You should really.
Well, I think it should. The rationale should be the ration, and this is my thing. That 70-30, whatever the ratio is, should be the purpose of your relationship.
I'm not willing to ascribe humans that much certainty. It's certainly,
but it's not really him. It's your relationship. Like
you're just assuming what you know. But in reality, you're going to be presented with a different set of circumstances and contexts that are going to force you to pivot or change the way you think.
Yeah. I used to think I was 100% no on the second chances,
right.
But I like
even that, right? Like even that, right? Like I'm not even willing to ascribe that I would fully say no to somebody. Like so, it's something that I can't even consider, right? Like,
so I guess the point is like after you guys give a second chance, what would keep you in the relationship?
Trust.
And it would have to be trust.
Trust, and the thing about trust is this is what I was gonna say earlier. So I imagine it like a stock almost, right? Like it's growing, right? Because you don't just initially trust someone all the way, but like over time you're trusting them more and more and more and more, right? You make that mistake, and then that trust, it plummets, and it plummets hard. And I mean, it might go all the way back to the ground zero, and you have to completely rebuild the trust. And so you gotta think about, is that worth it? You gotta think about like, can I possibly trust this person? Like, is it even possible?
Yeah.
And part of that comes down to the circumstances, right? And that's why it's only a 30% chance I'm gonna give you a second chance, when in reality it might even be lower than 30.
Right.
Like historically, I think it's lower than 30. But but yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So like, there's a lot of weighing and considerations to be made. But yeah, trust is a tough thing, and I mean, everyone knows that's one of the most important things in a relationship is trust, and that's because it's hard to accumulate and so easy to lose.
Just like from my last quote from the last podcast, the only thing constant in the world is change, right? Like, and she said like that's why she takes life every day, like day by day. Like,
I got to do a quote today
as it comes.
I thought about that.
This isn't story time. This is
you're right. Yeah,
dorm room discussion.
So I guess let's pivot just slightly before we close out. But I want to ask, if your partner was to go to a strip club or a club or a party or however the case may be,
go on a spring break trip,
right? Would we for one allow that, and secondly, right? Well, in this case, will we allow it or will we be okay with it? However you want.
Wait, without the other partner?
Yes. And secondly, just will you allow or will you be okay with it? Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
Is that okay in a relationship?
If my girlfriend wants to go out with her friends and go on a little trip,
to the club, strip club. Male strip.
Oh.
Male strip.
Oh.
What they gonna do?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not, like,
So
It is what it is.
I mean, if
it'd be
that's-
like middle-aged women there, like
Y'all okay with it?
having a good
I'll
time
make my
with
case for
tiaras.
why. I'll make my case, like, to try and persuade them to not go.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if that's what you want to go do with your friends, then go. Like, let's set a couple boundaries. You know what I'm saying? And then that's it.
I think it all.
So
That's what I'm saying, it all
so,
comes down
so
to the
you would tell,
purpose.
so you would tell
Like
her
it-
she can't do it.
No, I wouldn't, because it all comes down to purpose. That has nothing. Like you going to the strip club has nothing to do with the reason that we're dating. So it's like that's why I say it all comes down to like a formula. Like if our purpose is to experience dating, that still has you going to the strip club has nothing to do with our purpose for dating. It's like that's.
This is making me nervous.
And
This is like we're trying to clearly define some human aspects that I just feel are just way too
And I feel like this is
gray
really
and
getting
like
into it. Like every single action you do has to be for our relationship's purpose.
Yeah, and if it's not,
Why?
But like
Man.
yes,
I don't know. Like, you can develop a relationship and still have like your.
That sounds more like a job than a
I
relationship.
feel I can't
Right.
wait for
But-
Mariah to see this.
well, like we talk about this.
A
Like,
relationship shouldn't feel like I don't know, it shouldn't feel like
And
a
it-
9 to 5
and
thing.
it won't if your purpose is aligned.
But even the idea of like we're 5 different people who've grown up in 5 different types of households, 5 different types of family structures, seeing
Yeah.
5 different types of relationships, and like here are even us just describing the components that we like or don't like, or our views on what a relationship even is. Like,
just why it's
like,
so hard.
Like that's crazy, right? Like, because like quite frankly, I don't know if I've ever really seen a good and functional relationship. Like my mother just got like in a really good, like functional, I would say like really stable, like oh my god, like TV relationship. But like really, like I've never really seen that in person.
I mean, it's because everything's gonna fluctuate, like Zena said. Like you're gonna go up, you're gonna go down. Like it's never gonna be perfect. Like
Yeah.
so, you just gotta be able to.
Yeah, but it's like what counts is not perfect, and like it's never gonna. Well, like, what counts is it's never gonna be perfect.
We got a guest on the podcast.
Oh, okay. We got a guest caller.
Hey, John, welcome. You're on StoryTime podcast right now. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, so we got one question for you on StoryTime podcast right
Give
now.
us a second chance.
And would you give Stephanie, your girlfriend, a second chance if she was to cheat on you?
As a disclaimer, you are live. on the
Disclaimer: you are live on the podcast right now.
Okay, to be honest, I think I would, because of just like the things that I've done as a person in the past, and I think I would definitely have to give her a second chance for sure.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
He's
Mm.
honest.
Just because I love her so much. If you love a person that much, and you know that deep down that they love you, and it was just a one-time thing, I feel like I would give her a second chance. Just because like I've done things in the past that aren't as great, but it all just depends on the situation, in my opinion.
That's
It
deep.
depends on how long you've known them, like how long have you guys been dating? Why did she do it? If she comes clean with it to me, like it all depends on how honest she is with it and everything about that. So, but I have a question for you, real quick.
All right, well, John, I'll if we can hold it off, I got about 20 more minutes on this or 15 more minutes on this podcast, and I can give you a call right back if you can wait.
Alright, man, I got you.
All right, bet. Peace out, love.
Peace out.
Back to the circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
He
He was very honest about it.
Yeah.
He has a baby though, so he's kind of
Yeah.
biased.
Yeah. He does. I mean, baby does affect the relationship. so-
That's a factor that goes into it, right? Like,
But yeah, circumstances. He thirded that.
Okay, so if say you've cheated, right, and then your significant other takes you back, and then they go cheat, could you be mad at them for
Yes.
doing the same thing that you did?
if it's like a revenge cheat and not like a sincere cheat.
See, this is why, like, I like to try and take a lot of the circumstances out of things in context, and like we need some type of rubric to at least go off of.
It's impossible.
Yeah, you'll never have that.
I think that we can create that in which the purpose of why you're dating, and like I said, some people like this doesn't work for everyone, right? But like this is my life. Like it's not circumstantial.
Yeah.
It's does this align to our purpose? And if not, then how can we make this align to our purpose? And if we can't, then that's the breaking point.
I sincerely wish we as humans, right, could be that, calculated and, logical all the time. But like a lot of the time,
It's challenging.
it's gray area.
It's challenging.
It's like, this is how I feel right now in this moment. Like, and I'm gonna act on it, right? Like, this is how I feel right now in this moment, and like, you ain't get a second chance, right? Like,
Now, and I will say, emotions, like, this is much of a less emotional approach. So you have to be able to...
impossible.
But no. But this is the thing, and this is the thing. Like, you can, but like, it takes time to get over your emotions. So like, you would have to compartmentalize your emotions and be able to, before you make a rational decision with this type of... Like,
is that even possible?
That's
though?
impossible.
Like, can you keep your emotions out of it?
That's not even compartmentalizing. That's like you have gotten to the point where you can literally transcend your emotions and like.
I don't think it's impossible.
I don't think it's impossible either.
To keep your emotions out of it?
Yeah, I don't think it's impossible.
That's almost like saying like a human can actually be objective.
I think a human
I
can
think
be.
it-
Absolutely
I think
not. Like everything we do
must not
is
seen-
influenced by literally
not have
every
seen,
experience we've ever had in our lives. Like we're literally just like a series of like cells that have like absorb like our lives are literally just like absorbing everything around us. Like so how could you
Humans are powerful.
how could you do
I think
like,
just
I don't think a
just
human
based-
can outpower themselves. Like it's almost like
Listen,
you mastering.
Have you
like-
not seen what's it called? The guy that had like, is it called schizophrenia? Like he can be different personalities and like he came into a
talking
beast.
about
What's his name? What's his name?
in the
personality?
It was a movie. It was a movie.
You're talking about the guy who's like multiple personalities and he's like one of them's like a
Yeah, Split.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen Split? It's like where he's like he thought he was a little girl and then he thought this was a dude.
Great
and
movie.
then he actually like he his mental was so strong that like he was taking bullets like he was some type of animal.
Yeah,
but like he was a real human. Like
so how many case studies of Split do we have in real life?
oh, I'm sure some. I haven't like. Oh yeah, I'm sure. You don't think so?
He's a psychologist.
Do you not think so?
He knows.
You sure?
Do you not think so?
I'm sure those people are probably in a mental institution.
Oh, I think so
Or
too. But I
probably
think there is,
like heavily medicated.
but
right?
there is some that
If you can go from a little girl to a what?
to like a man,
To a man,
to an uncle,
woman,
to a grandma, to a
right?
like a whole
boy,
family in
too.
one,
He was able to be a boy too, like
and a little boy.
kid.
Yeah,
And a little boy. Like you don't consider that like split personality disorder?
No, it is.
it is
100%.
split personality disorder. That's why it's called
the
split.
medical terminology of it.
But like I think a human is capable of it. Is what
Yeah.
I'm getting at.
But do you see how like even a person
But that's not
struggling?
even being objective.
Yeah,
Like, this
like-
is a whole different conversation.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and it's like even the fact of somebody struggling with that disorder is like a literal chemical imbalance in their head. Right? You see what I'm saying? Like there's actually like physically where we can go and say like there's a part of their brain that's almost like malfunctioning.
So you're saying that a non diagnosed human can not like has emotions basically. Like
Yeah.
the only way you can't have no emotions is if you're diagnosed.
Is if something is a little different up here, right? Like if you are an actual psychopath, then like you don't have any emotions, right? Like in fact, oh wait, there's already a term for it. A psychopath. Like, when you don't have any emotions, like it's like, oh, that doesn't bother me. Like I'm going to like my girlfriend of 40 years now. Bye. Right? Like straight face. Like bye.
So what about
I don't even
this
think they have a girlfriend for 40 years.
But what about
This is
so
no
what about
longer
SEAL Team
functioning,
6?
right,
Like
right.
they kill a man.
Yeah,
like,
but look at we don't even know the
SEAL
training they
Team
go through.
6.
Like, we don't even know the
like,
training
but,
they go
but,
through
but it's not even the fact. It's the fact that a human that's not diagnosed can do this.
because of maybe the psychological like degradation and then rebuilding.
It doesn't-
You know what I mean? Like they've almost like
it doesn't-
rebuilt you as this robot.
But it doesn't matter what
Well, I'm
happens.
sure we can do lots of unethical psychological studies to determine if this is possible. Can you create an emotionless human? I'm sure it's possible.
But like that's
Hold
all.
on. I
we're
want
not
to take
for
a step back.
Yeah.
I want to take a step back. It's a difference between being emotionless and being objective. Because
Okay.
you can kind of like set aside your emotions to make an objective decision. You know what I'm saying?
But even that level of objectivity.
And my other point
still
is like the
subjective.
law of large numbers. I believe there's what 6 trillion people.
Something like that.
On the
I'm not sure
Earth?
the number, yeah.
Okay, so
How
the
many
law of
billion?
large numbers.
8 billion. 8
So I'm
He's a
willing.
world.
I am very confident that there is a non-zero percentage of that of population that can be objective and
I agree.
and as Chris said, compartmentalize their emotions. But really, I see it more as just kind of like stepping back from your emotions and being able to just like make a decision outside of your emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like the emotions still exist. You're just kind of like compartmentalizing them or putting them away in order to make like the most logical decision.
I never recommend compartmentalization. It's
Oh,
terrible.
I'm not saying it's a
Doesn't
good
work.
idea.
I think that the most you can do is acknowledge the way you feel, be very conscious of the way you feel, and then take that into consideration as you make your decision. I think that's the most that you can do.
Yeah. I think emotions are useful and important, but there's definitely situations in which you need to like kind of put them aside and think without the emotions, and then you can bring the emotions back into it like after you've considered the other points. You know what I'm saying?
I think we wish.
I think we give him enough for today.
I think we wish. Yeah.
Hey, and that's my ignorant logic for today. Hey, because my ignorant logic is that a person can kind of do that, but once again, it's ignorant logic, which stems by my man towed my car, and he should he should have paid for it, really. Hey, come on, let's take him out. Kabir, what you got? Give me some.
New episode is out. Episode 13 is out. Producers and consumers.
Yep.
I think that was it. Episode 13 is out on all streaming platforms, Spotify, and YouTube. Go check it out.
This one will be out at the time, too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. By the time when they're listening to this, they're literally listening to episode
14. But they can go check out episode 13.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, on that point, if you haven't listened to all our episodes, the camera's getting a little, blurry. If you haven't listened to all our episodes, go back and listen to all of our podcast episodes. Get the whole experience. Listen to everything we've talked about so far, and maybe think about or give some suggestions about what we might talk about next. In the YouTube comments, or you can add us on Facebook or Instagram.
I keep forgetting to read the comments.
Tell us how you like dorm room discussions. It's something new we brought to the podcast today. Something different. Trying to, just keep it fresh, seeing what you guys like. So if you like it, let us know. If you don't like it, I guess you can still let us know.
Hey, we got you. We got some high school recruitment films that's out. Go check that out. We got some big projects coming out here soon, promotional films. Be right on the verge for those. Dorm room discussions.
Oh, before you go, I got another thing. For everyone on YouTube, you got to do this for YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Watch this. For the YouTube videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down there. Around bottom. Go ahead and like the video. Share with a comment.
You like the video? Like the video.
I think the only thing constant in the world is change. Take life as it comes to you. And as always, be bold. Be great.
And we got merch out.
And we'll see you next week. Yo.
Wait, did Chase get his back?
No, I did. This is my